with your girl Adeola. First of all, some of you have not subscribed. Why now? Let me give you 1 minute. Just press the subscribe button. You are enjoying the show, you may as well subscribe. You know, Adeola. Thank you very much, mommy and daddy, uncle and auntie. Okay, so I didn't want to talk about this, but my dear, is it true? Baba. Can you imagine that PDP just put my uncle in his place like that? Ha, but Bukola. Is it true that PDP would treat my uncle like that? But Bukola, please, let me deal with them. They don't know who you are. Ladies and gentlemen, as you guys know, Nigerian Senate President has been campaigning for president that he's ready to grow Nigeria if people vote for him.
If you are looking for a 21st century leader, you will vote for me and grow this economy for the interest of the millions and millions of youth.
Thank you very much. You see, this is what I'm saying. They even call him the man where Sabi road.
Make we follow man where Sabi.
See, I don't know why some Nigerians don't want to follow the man where Sabi road. The man Sabi road from Abuja to Leone. PDP, you disappointed me. You disappointed Mama. Do you know how popular Saraki is in Kwara State and on the internet? And many young people were rooting for this man, only for the man to get just 317 votes. Out of about 4,000 delegates, only 317 people voted for my uncle. Can you imagine that insult? Can you imagine? On top of that, people were making fun of the man on the internet, on Twitter, on Facebook. People were, what is wrong with you? This is my tweet. Are you out of your mind? Take it down. As I was saying, enemies of progress, they were making fun of my uncle. They said out of the 317 votes, 102 are from the Kwara State delegates. I said, Haba, the man tried. Now, didn't he try? And there were people with less votes. Show them. You see what I'm saying? He was the number 3 at the PDP convention. You can't please Nigerians. What more do you want? Don't you know that this life is tough? Ayele, you can be a godfather somewhere in maybe Kwara State and have no influence at the federal level. It happens. Ayele.
Ayele o ibosi o.
Ayele o ibosi o. Thank you, my mother. You know what I don't understand is the fact that Uncle Dino has been campaigning for this man left and right. Wait, did Dino just... Dino. Not only that, according to Dino Melaye, Saraki was supposed to be the one to save us from all our suffering. Understand, Dino Melaye has been suffering for a long time. The man has been suffering. The man will be a good MC, by the way, if you have a wedding or birthday party coming up. Contact Dino Melaye. But you know, having said all that, Bukola, this is not the end of the road for my uncle. I can assure you guys that my uncle will bounce back very soon, very, very soon. All of you enemies of progress that are making fun of the man, I'm watching you on Plasma TV. Now, the good thing is the Senate is now back in session. Thank you very much, Uncle Bukola. You probably watched my last episode. And you see, nobody impeached you. And how can anybody even impeach him when Dino Melaye is right there? Uncle Dino, what are you doing?
I salute the seat of the President of the Federal Nigeria. Very secure.
As I see the layer, his village people have finally caught up with him. Maximum beating. Is that what he said?
And if not lie, come on. They're going to be talking now. We'll beat ourselves down here.
Hey, you see what I'm saying? The village people have found my uncle. Isn't this the same man that preaches on Twitter? Wait, by the way, is it a senator or area boy? I don't know. I'm getting confused. I'm not abusing you, my uncle. The man is threatening to beat up APC senators if they try to impeach Saraki. Hey, how much did they get paid again? Hey, Father, you see, this is how much they get paid every month. These are the kind of leaders we have in Nigeria. We don't suffer. In any case, former Vice President Abubakar Atiku has now emerged as the PDP presidential candidate running against Muhammadu Buhari next year. So I'm waiting to hear what you guys think about about this. In the meantime, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, who accused Atiku of being a thief, has now put his support behind the man. He's now supporting Atiku. Not only that, Bishop Oyedepo, he is also supporting Atiku. So this coming election is already getting tantalizing. One thing is obvious, that everybody is tired of the Buhari administration. Unless you've not been directly affected by what is happening in Nigeria, the economy is bad. It has gotten worse. People are hungry. There is no security. Besides Boko Haram killing people, we now have herdsmen killing people as well. And Buhari has refused to declare the herdsmen as terrorists or go after them, even though they are killing people. Not just that, the president doesn't even know that things are not working in his country. We've heard several times that the cabal are the ones in charge of the country, yet he wants to run for second term. So I want to know what you guys think about this coming election. Who's your candidate? Do you have one? And why are you supporting the person? Adeola has been saying for a long time that with the PDP and APC candidate, it's like a thief versus somebody surrounded by thieves. I don't know, you can't hear that from him, But I'm really excited to see that two women are now running as well. That is former Minister Obiese as well as Mrs. Eunice Atuejide. I'm so excited to see that women are also in the race. So we now have a lot of candidates. Who's your candidate and why? You guys don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real.
Make we follow my way, Sabi. Make we follow my way, Sabi.
You don't finish. Make you follow my way, Sabi road. So moving on to Cameroon, did you guys follow that election? Father, Lord Almighty. After 36 years of being president, plus 7 years of being prime minister before becoming president. Did you guys know that Paul Biya was still bribing people? He was still bribing voters with bread, sardine, milk. Look at the bread. They can't even wrap up the bread for them. They just gave it to them like this is an insult on the people of Cameroon. If your president still has to be giving you bread and butter. Even Biya, they were giving people Biya. This is a video where they were giving people money to vote for him. This was before the election. Can you imagine? They even gave out goats, live goats. Now look at this one. The goat is wearing the same outfit that the people there were wearing. They are all the same, the goats, the human beings. I'm just saying. And speaking of outfits, I saw a video that made me almost cry. Cameroonians, including young people, were fighting over Paul Biya's campaign clothes. Now that's sad. That's really, really sad. I thought that the man in the video wanted to help that lady. Now lie. You see what I'm saying? But of all the ridiculous things that were shared, this was the one that baffled me the most. Condom. Wait, what? Okay, so it's condom, right? Because I'm very innocent. What is this? Is it that people cannot afford condom in Cameroon or what? This is insulting. Is it trying to control their mind during when they are doing it? Yeah, this is an insult on the people of Cameroon. How can you be giving people condom to vote for you? I was happy to see the expiration date on the condom, by the way. It said 2019. I wish the man's tenure would just expire with the condom. Just go with your condom. Thousands of people have been killed. More than 250,000 people have been displaced. At least 43,000 of them are now refugees in Nigeria. Nigeria is dealing with the Boko Haram IDPs. As of this year, we now have more than 80,000 herdsmen IDPs. On top of that, 43,000 people have moved from Cameroon seeking refuge in Nigeria. You see, Nigerian government, continue to keep quiet. It's already spilling over to your country. Continue to keep quiet and act as if you don't know what Paul Biya is doing in his country. Who knew that this is how the man would turn out? Somebody should have given this kind of thing to his father a long time ago. And I don't mean what you think I mean. Never mind. By the way, the condom was not the most ridiculous thing about this election. Some people said it's not condom, that it's chewing gum. So the chewing gum is not the most ridiculous thing about this election. Paul Biya, do you guys know that Paul Biya hired fake election observers from outside the country for them to come and pretend to be from Transparency International? So those ones started saying that the election was free and fair. They were doing interviews.
There have been accusations of fraud, particularly over a group of apparently bogus election observers. Though they weren't part of any official mission, that did not stop them holding a press conference this week and effusively praising Cameroon's vote.
I thought it went very smoothly, and at the same time it showed great democratic emancipation.
Personally, I don't know much about Africa, and I was pleasantly surprised. Personally, I don't know much about Africa.
What I saw yesterday during the vote counting was a real lesson in democracy.
That was how Transparency International released a statement saying that they don't know who these people are. Because of the crisis and the human rights violations by Paul Biya, they had said that they refused to monitor the election. And so they said that they didn't send these delegates.
So, though they claimed to have been working with Transparency International, the group denies any affiliation. Critics of President Paul Biya are speculating that the faux observers were paid by the government.
Can you imagine fake election observers? The man is desperate. Yo. Lastly, why should it take like 2 weeks to announce the result of an election? Cameroon is only 23 million people. No, so even Nigeria, 180 million people. We don't take a week to announce the winner of the election. There will be riots. 2 weeks. Somebody is cooking the result of this election. Massive rigging is happening as we are speaking. You know, one of the opposition candidates has declared himself winner. Well, guess what? The electoral body said that only the Constitutional Council can announce the result of the election. We know that the Constitutional Council is not independent of the president, of the government. It's the same thing. And on top of that, the Territorial Administration Minister, that is Paula Tangangi, has said that whoever the Constitutional Council announces as the winner cannot be challenged. So you see, they can't even take them to the Supreme Court. Keep in mind that most of the people in the English-speaking part of Cameroon did not participate in this election. They refused, and that is as a protest. This is a video of election day in the English-speaking part of Cameroon.
New route right up to Fonja Junction. There is no single soul in Bamenda. This is when 11 a.m. election day in Cameroon.
Several hours after the start of the voting exercise in Bamenda Northwest region, ballot boxes in some of the polling stations, like in Azere, were empty.
Yeah, people didn't go out. Despite that, this is how soldiers were walking around in the English-speaking part of Cameroon on election day, as if they were going to war. So I wasn't surprised to hear that they killed 2 people from the English-speaking part of Cameroon. My people of Cameroon, your eyes have seen, your eyes you don't see. As for those that are fighting over Paul Biya's clothes, and those of you collecting bread, collecting sardine, and you know, if the man couldn't tackle hunger for 42 years as Prime Minister and President consecutively, what difference would another term make? Why do you keep selling yourself short? Why do you keep collecting this? At the same time, I can understand people are hungry. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, you guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to Sierra Leone, did you guys hear that their new president, Maada, has rejected the $318 million loan that China offered them to build a new airport? You see, as a dual, sir, you have my respect. As in, the previous government had agreed to the loan, but when the new president came in, he said no more bese, no more debt. As it is now, Sierra Leone, a country of 7 million people, already has an external debt of $2 billion. $2 billion and a domestic debt of $587 million. The question is, what did the previous government do with all that money? I'm very sure that they had construction projects, but did they actually spend all the money on what they said they would, or did some of the money end up in some people's pockets? So the new president says that the country is already drowning in debt and that he wants to focus on restoring the economy instead of getting into more debt. Now, this is a leader that is thinking about the future of his country. Honestly, a lot of Africans admire what you just did. Thank you so much for leading by example. Let me know what you guys think about this story. You guys don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. And speaking of Chinese debt, did you guys hear that Zambia is starting to feel the heat? So for some months now, there have been several reports by the media in Zambia that China is starting to take over several public institutions in their country, including their international airport, that is the airport in Lusaka, as well as the state-owned TV and radio news channel, that is ZNBC, and the state-owned power company, ZESCO. So the media has been reporting about this. However, the government of Zambia denied that China is taking over. Here is Zambia's High Commissioner to South Africa denying the report.
We should immediately dismiss the allegation that there are intentions to take over our power utility company, ZESCO. There is no takeover of either ZESCO or ZNBC, our public broadcaster like SABC, or Kenneth Kaunda International Airport.
You see what I'm saying? Okay.
Zambia is not under in any way debt stressed. We are not in a debt crisis.
However, two things happened recently. You know, first of all, popular Pan-Africanist, that is Professor Lumumba, was denied entry into Zambia upon his arrival at the airport, and he was in fact deported back to his country, Kenya. He was actually supposed to give a public lecture in Zambia on China and Africa relations at the Eden University in Zambia. So do you think that the Zambian government is having a hard time with the truth? You think, I mean, why would they deport the man when he's coming to talk about what China is doing in Africa? And people were like, you are deporting a fellow African man, you are not deporting the foreigners that are taking over things in your country. I don't know. This are just, this is what people are saying. The second thing that happened recently, actually this happened at the beginning of this month, Zambia's state-owned newspaper, that is the Times of Zambia, published an article in Mandarin, that is Chinese language. And people were like, say what? Why? Since when did we start publishing stuff in Mandarin? The English version of the article basically says that the president pledges to maintain Zambian interest in dealing with donors, either they are from the east or the west. And people were like, now for those who may not understand what just happened, Mandarin is not one of the official languages of Zambia. It is the Chinese language, okay? Do you think it's possible for a major newspaper in China to publish an article for their readers in an African language? You know, I'm Yoruba. Do you think China will publish an article in Yoruba for their citizens? I don't think so, unless something is going on that the government is not telling us. You know, they keep denying they keep denying that China is taking over, but now they published an article in Chinese language, Mandarin. For so long, people have been asking how much is Zambia's debt, and the government has not been straightforward. But recently, the finance minister said that their external debt is $9.3 billion as at the end of the first quarter of 2018. But you know, they keep borrowing more money. So even though the government is denying that China is taking over, who do you believe? Also, do you think that an article in your language, whatever your local language is, do you think an article may be published in China someday in your local language? You guys I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Meanwhile, I already told you guys how China took over a major port in Sri Lanka and how they are trying to take over another port in Djibouti. I mean, you can always watch that episode where I broke everything down. But a lot of Africans are now waking up to the reality that this is modern colonization that is happening right now in Africa. So many Africans are now making their own video of what they think Africa would sound like in the next 20-30 years. That's just wrong. Seriously, who comes up with this idea? And here is another video from some Kenyans on what they think could happen in their country in the next 20 to 30 years. Okay, that's funny. But you know, nothing prepared me for what I found out recently. As you guys are aware, several schools in Nigeria are now teaching Mandarin, that is the Chinese language. If you're not from Nigeria, let me know if this is happening in your country as well. That is Nigeria, ladies and gentlemen. But you know, the one that shocked me the most, and I didn't even know that this has been happening. This video I'm about to show you is from 2 years ago. But do you know that Nigerian custom officers are now learning Mandarin?
Nigerian customs officers are attending Chinese classes. Learning Mandarin by the custom officers would enhance effectiveness as the country is seeing an increasing number of Chinese investors and tourists.
What the heck? I mean, they are also singing in Mandarin. What is going on? Chai, Father Lord Almighty.
I'm happy that I've learned the language. It gives me more joy knowing that I can speak the Chinese language, and that will enhance my performance. But anytime I see them, you know, I have this bonding that at least I can speak to this person.
Wow. So you have special bonding with Chinese people. First of all, no offense, my father, we have 3 main languages in Nigeria. In fact, we have hundreds of languages, but we have 3 that are very popular. Have these people learned at least those 3 languages fluently, so that when they see their countrymen, they can have a special bonding that, this is a Hausa man, I can speak Hausa to this person, or this is an Igbo man, I can speak Igbo to this person, this is a Yoruba man, I can speak Yoruba to this person. You see what I'm saying? And please don't get me wrong, knowing how to speak other languages is great, especially knowing how to speak the Chinese language Mandarin, because whether we like it or not, with the economic power that China has, very soon it will become a major language all over the world. But Chinese people are not the only ones coming to Nigeria, so why are we learning their language? Do they learn Nigerian languages for our sake when we go to China? Everywhere I've been, nobody has asked me how they can learn Yoruba. I'm usually the one that speaks their language. When I went to Kenya, I had to learn how to greet people and how to say thank you in Swahili. Nigerian leaders, etitawato, these people are selling us short, see? And you say that foreigners don't respect you in your country. How can they respect you? You are the one learning their language when they come. I'm not saying that we shouldn't learn Mandarin, but can we start from home? Can we start by learning our own languages first? Some of these children that are learning Mandarin, some of them cannot speak their local language. That is not right. It's not right.
Now, widely taught in primary and secondary schools, as well as Confucius institutes, Mandarin is considered one of the most popular foreign languages in Nigeria.
Will you start with certificate of whatever? Get a life, oh, Jari. You guys not doing anything, Jari. Guess what? I'm just keeping it true. Moving on to the Democratic Republic of Congo, I am so excited that one of my heroes, 63-year-old gynecologist, that is Dr. Denis Mukwege, has been awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. I'm not going to cry. I featured this man briefly in 2017 when I addressed the killings of more than 6 million people in Congo. As you guys know, the rebels in Congo have been using rape to destroy many lives and families.
Militants in Congo use rape as a weapon to frighten villagers off their land, especially if the land is rich with minerals.
They would rape the women in front of their husband. They would rape their children as well. And then they would make them dig their own grave and rape them in the grave for days until they die. It's so bad. So much so that Congo was called the rape capital of the world. Some of these women, after being raped, they would fire a bullet into their vagina. I mean, I'm sorry to be so detailed, but that is what has been going on.
I was at home with my husband. We were sleeping. 5 men came in our home and my husband fled. They threw me on the bed, then they raped me in front of my children. After, one of them took a bag of salt and he asked me to open my legs and he pushed the salt in my vagina, even pushing the bag in.
And ladies and gentlemen, while everybody was fleeing the crisis area, this man has stayed for 20 years, and he's the one taking care of all these women.
Here, in the Panzi hospital that he founded, Mukwege and his teams treated over 50,000 victims of sexual violence.
50,000 women in 20 years. There are reports that sometimes he performs up to 10 operations in a day. They take them into his hospital, they sew them together, they perform operations on them. Many of them actually live in his hospital for fear of what could happen if they go back to their homes. And you know, it's so sad that some of these women that he sewed together had been brought back to him because they were raped again. Many of these women have tried to kill themselves, having been through the trauma that they went through. And of course, so many of them had babies that they didn't want, and many of them actually contracted HIV/AIDS from the rape.
The child is sick and myself am sick.
Her name is Letitia. The rapist gave her and her baby HIV.
And so while he takes care of them physically, him and his wife, they also help them with emotional healing.
Here they take in the children that nobody wants, the children of rape, also called snake children. Mama Zawadi watches on the toddlers and helps their mothers to love them.
By the way, they've tried to kill this man several times because they don't want him fixing these women. They don't want him saving their life.
Dr. Mukwege has to travel with bodyguards. The gangs tried to kill him. It didn't stop him.
I can see how women are strong to fight. This is something really pushing me to go on and say it's not the end, but we have to fight.
You can imagine women. And you know, he started with just a tent. He put up a tent. He didn't even have a hospital. He was operating on these women and also delivering the babies of those who got pregnant from the rapes. And in 1998, the militants destroyed everything that he set up. They destroyed his tent. And then in 1999, he started all over again. It was so bad that in 2012, the militants broke into his house. In the middle of the night, they killed his bodyguard and they kidnapped his daughters. That was a traumatic experience for his family. So when they released his daughters, he took his entire family and he fled the country and he went to Sweden. Later, they went to Belgium. And you know, most people would never come back, but the women pleaded for him to come back. They even raised money to buy his plane ticket to come back to the Democratic Republic of Congo. And guess what? He went back.
On behalf of all the women in Bukavu and on behalf of women who've been raped in DR Congo, we say welcome back, the saviour of women.
His mother has been waiting 3 months to embrace her son again, since the day he narrowly avoided being murdered and was forced to flee the country for his safety.
And since that time, he has stayed. But he could no longer live in his own house. He has been living in a hospital since that time, with bodyguards, of course.
Now back to where it all began, his first surgery. It will be his new home now, to limit his movements and ultimately for his safety.
Nothing in the world can separate me from these mothers. I couldn't imagine that they suffered so much in my absence.
So to see that he's been recognized and awarded for the work that he's doing makes me so happy.
Denis Mukwege was performing surgery when cries of joy began to echo in the corridor. When he left the operating room, he was greeted by a delirious crowd that had already begun to celebrate his Nobel Prize.
But also, I hope that he would inspire you today. Please check out the movie they made about his life story. It's called The Man Who Meant Women. I'm not sure if it's on Netflix or not, but I know it's on Amazon Prime Video. In any case, you can find it on the internet. When you see the length that some people go to make a difference, it makes you realize that when it looks like nobody sees what you're doing for years, you can't give up. The man has been risking his life now for 20 years, and now he won the Nobel Peace Prize.
Every Sunday, he's a pastor in a small church in the city centre.
Faith is very important to me, because I believe that without faith, I'm not sure I would be able to face all the difficulties I encounter on a daily basis with my patients.
Through his preaching, his small community has grown. From operation to operation, his fame has crossed borders. The silent witness has become a trenchant voice for the women of Congo.
Lastly, if one man can make so much difference, starting with nothing but a tent, I like to employ so many of our pastors and churches that have lots of money. Do you know that you can actually make a difference in people's lives? I'm talking about real difference, not just for them to come to church, right in the community where your church is located, right in the community where your ministry is. You can reach out to the people there and impact their lives, meet their immediate needs, and they will be interested in whatever you have to say. Today, his hospital has become a major health facility in Eastern Congo with 370 doctors, nurses, and support staff. That's amazing. Now, this is what happens when you stick it out, regardless of the trouble that you're facing. Congratulations, sir. We're all so proud of you. You guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. So before I sign out, I'd like to announce to my people in Australia that your girl is coming to Australia. Yeah! Me and Condom, we're coming to Sydney. Yes, thank you, Jesus. So your girl has been invited to be the speaker at the Chaser inaugural lecture. So this year, I'll be delivering the annual inaugural lecture. That would happen on November 1st. I'm really looking forward to it. Not just that, I will also be speaking at the University of Sydney. And while I'm there, I'm looking forward to meeting viewers of this show. I'll be at this theater between 12 and 2 p.m. on Sunday the 4th of November. I'll be addressing people and having a meet and greet, so whoever can come, I'm looking forward to meeting you guys. Lastly, a viewer sent me this video of this young lady that has been suffering from kidney disease.
My name is Ajiboye. I'm 21 years old. I have kidney problem and we need 8 to 10 million naira for kidney transplantation. Please, everyone, help me. Please, don't let me die.
And I've taken time to verify all the claims in this video, and I just wanted to make her bank account information public. If somebody has been touched by the story of this man that has made a difference today, and if you would like to make a difference in this lady's life, please, this is the bank information. Please donate towards the surgery. They are trying to raise 10 million naira for the surgery, and it has not been easy. They are literally spending receiving 100,000 every week for dialysis, and she needs the surgery badly. And for real, no amount is too small. I have verified this is a legitimate case, and this does not exclude those of you that are living outside Nigeria. I've been telling you guys that you can send money to Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda for free, all on your phone. So make sure you download Wave, and you can use that to send money to Nigeria. If you use my name Adeola as a promo code when you sign up for the first time, they will send extra $5 to your loved ones. As in, who doesn't want an extra $5? But you have to enter my name during the first transaction. If not, you will lose the $5. And if you would like to donate towards this lady's surgery, you can also use Wave to donate into her bank account. Thank you so much in advance for donating. I really appreciate you guys. You guys don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Alright y'all, it's been real, and I'm keeping it real right up in here. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you're here to subscribe to my channel, Father, today is the day of salvation. Press the subscribe button. Until next week, I must see you later. Peace out.